Hello, Void. How are you doing? So, I didn't get a chance to record yesterday, mostly just because I was really tired. Now, I did get in two films yesterday, I just didn't have the wherewithal to review them that evening. Okay, so rounding out this next cycle of my streaming services is Fear Street Part 3, 1666. So, I did enjoy the first couple of Fear Street films, but didn't blow me away, but I enjoyed them enough that I did want to see where this was going. It just wasn't a priority for me. So I think it was last year that I actually saw the first one, so it's been a little while. Well, I'll admit, I shouldn't have slept on this one. Fear Street Part 3 is my favorite of the three. They really pulled out the stops and it worked very well. So, at the end of the last Fear Street, they were trying to find the witch's body and put her to rest, and when they did, well, our lead Dina essentially flashes back into 1666 when the town was founded into the body of Sarah Fear, and now is essentially seeing what happened when she cursed the village. So, it's essentially I like that a lot of the characters from the present are playing characters from the past in almost a history repeats itself kind of thing. Though they do kind of hint that this is not how they actually look, but it's just kind of how then Dina's seeing them through Sarah Fear. So it's essentially kind of a puritanical style village. Everything is going along fine until, well, some of the kids sneak out to have a little drink, have a little dance. But Sarah seems to have a thing for the daughter of the town priest, and well, that's a big no-no back then. So, well, they slip off, have a little fun. Also, there's an old creepy old lady in the woods who has got an evil magic book. Well, then when someone sees them in the woods and starts spreading the rumor all over town at the same time that a blight seems to have fallen on the town, everyone starts looking for someone to blame, and well, they start blaming Sarah Fear and her would-be girlfriend. So Sarah's determined to either prove her innocence or, barring that, find the evil book and take the power for herself. If I'm going to be a monster, then if they've decided I'm guilty, then I'll be guilty, kind of a thing, and go all the way with it. So the movie's kind of divided into two halves. The largest portion is the past of the town and dealing with Sarah Fear, but then it pretty much a new title card pops up about 3/4 of the way through, saying Fear Street 1994 Part 2, and which it then goes to a conclusion of stopping things in present day, since Dina's girlfriend and Samantha was still witch possessed, and there were a bunch of killers continually coming after them. So, armed with the knowledge of what actually happened, they're able to find the true source of what's going on and see about putting it to rest. Well, some of it might be easy to call, and I made a few calls partway through. I won't spoil it here, but it was a satisfactory. And I will say during the past, I really wasn't sure exactly where it was going, because it seems to go one way, it seems to go just where you'd be expecting, then it'll take a turn, then maybe veer back towards that way, and finally ending in a spot there makes sense. Overall, I did really enjoy this one. This is my favorite of the Fear Street series. It's a satisfying conclusion to it. I'm not sure if this exists on physical media, but I'd like to get a trilogy of it. Yeah, I'd definitely be down to own this. But yeah, this is definitely the strongest one. The acting, and particularly in the olden times, is they really go for the emotional aspects for it, and it's effective. And the gore continues to be over the top and still works well, and it has a decent amount of humor mixed in, particularly in the final confrontation. So, yeah, I do recommend giving this one It's definitely gonna. Right now, it's sitting in my top 5 for the year, for well, this October anyway. So I'll give a solid 8 MacGuffins. I did really enjoy this. It it hit a sweet spot for me. I'm not sure if everyone will enjoy it as much as I did, but for me, it was up there. And they do kind of a teaser that maybe we could do Here We Go Again. So I wouldn't be opposed to more in this series, maybe following different characters in the same town or a different kind of horror setup, because there's a lot you could do, and there's a lot of Fear Street books. So yeah, I think that's really all I've got to say on this one. If I didn't mention it before, this one came out 2021, so still very recent. And it's a decent Halloween watch. Particularly, all three back to back makes one really long movie, but it definitely is all one thing. Alright, that's really all I got on this one. I'll talk to you later, Void.